Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. I've had some things happening, so I apologize for the delay on this video. What we've got here is a Mossberg 151M 22 semi-auto rifle. These were made the middle of the 20th century, somewhere in there. They are the second iteration of the 51 series. I have a soft spot in my heart for Mossberg 22s. They, in my mind, are the best 22s to come out during the middle of the 20th century, all the way up to the 1970s. However, this one belongs to a subscriber who contacted me via email. And this is actually a very nice little rifle. It is missing the sling swivels here and here, but he's got mostly the original parts, I believe. This is a 151MB. Now, on these 22s, there were A's, B's, C's, the submodels, and there were very subtle differences between those two. Most of the time, it's the rear sight. Sometimes it had the peep sight, sometimes it didn't. These were all drilled and tapped for the S130 peep sight, and that's what this one is. They folded away. This one has the front sight hood, which is missing all the time on these old 22s. People take them off, don't know why. But there are different front sights up here that fold up and fold down. There's a ring sight, there's a thick sight post, there's a thin sight post. There's like 6 different front sights that you can use on this gun. Bluing on this is pretty good. There are some scratches on the stock, but hell, the gun's 70 years old. But anyway, the issue that came with this, or why I have this gun, is I was contacted via email. This belonged to the subscriber's, again, grandfather. I get a lot of those. Grandpa put a squib load in it. Now, for those of you that don't know what a squib load is, that's a round that gets stuck in the barrel. When the subscriber inherited this gun, he checked it over and couldn't see down the barrel. Thought there was cobwebs in it, so he took a 1/8 inch steel rod and tried poking it through the barrel. And he came up with something solid. So then he put the gun in a vise and smacked the steel rod from the muzzle end until he got whatever was stuck moving, and it came out through the ejection port. Squib load. Well, that's when he contacted me and said, this had a round stuck in the barrel. Do you think it would be safe to shoot? You know what? Hold on. I'm going to reset the camera. Just hang on a minute. Reset the camera. How do I do this? If you run your fingers down the outside of the barrel of this rifle, it's pretty consistent until you get here. That's very subtle, but there is an ever so slight bulge in this rifle barrel. And I'm going to try to insert here, not good with video editing, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to try to insert some video here of when I ran my bore scope down the barrel of this gun. And I found that spot, and I gotta say that for having a steel bar run down it and being 70 years old, the bore on this gun looks pretty damn good, except for when you get to about right here. And if I'm successful in putting that footage in here, you guys will see why. Now, getting back to the question of the subscriber, I'm going to sit down. Is this gun safe to shoot? I get a lot of questions, mostly through emails, sometimes in comments. Look, folks, nobody in their right mind is going to tell you that a gun is safe to shoot through an email, not without laying their hands on it. And that's what I told this gentleman. I said, I can't tell you. I'm not there. I need the gun in my hands to assess the damage. You can describe it all day long, but I cannot in good conscience tell you to shoot a gun that has damage such as this without holding it in my hands. The liability that goes with that is incredible. It would be irresponsible and foolhardy, not to mention stupid, if I told this guy to shoot this gun and 2 rounds into shooting it, this barrel blows up in his face, causes him irreparable damage. Guess who's liable? Yeah, that would be the hobby gunsmith that's making this video. Don't know if he has a family, but the implications are crazy. They're just crazy. Now, this is a Mossberg, and the motto for Mossberg back in the day, don't know if it still is, but it used to be more gun for the money. And with these 22s, you certainly got more gun for the money. These have, in my opinion, Mossberg originated the term bull barrel. Because if you've ever held one of these in your hands and looked at the barrel on them, they're way overbuilt. And in my opinion, this gun probably is safe to shoot. Don't know how accurate it's going to be. Probably can't hit the broadside of a barn from the inside with it, but there we are. I mean, it's probably safe to shoot. In fact, I'm probably going to take this out and shoot it myself before I tell him that it's safe to shoot. I want to see what it does. I'll take that chance. Mark Novak is a gunsmith professionally, and he has done a few videos on people asking him questions about damaged guns. Now, the difference is when I have a gun here on my bench, I have insurance for that. If I do a repair on a gun and then that repair fails, I have insurance for that. If I give you advice on how to modify a gun or tell you a gun's safe to shoot through email, I don't have insurance for that. If you ask me a question in the comments and I try to tell you how to replace a part or how to fit a part, I don't have insurance for that. So I'm not going to give you that advice. If you ask me a question like, why do you think my gun is doing this? Or it won't extract a shell, or, what would you do with this damaged stock? Not like a crack stock, but finish damage. Sure, I'll probably give you advice on that. But if you want me to tell you how to do a trigger job on a CZ75, nope, not going to happen. If you want me to tell you why your gun isn't loading shotgun shells, your 870 Wingmaster that was your grandfather's that he bought back in 1965, I'm not going to tell you how to do that, because that involves you taking the gun apart, fixing the problem, and then putting the gun back together. And I don't know your skill level. I do know people that have taken guns apart and can't put them back together. Now, if I had instructed them to take it apart and replace this part and put it back together, and they're never able to get the damn thing back together, I'm liable. And I don't have the insurance for that. If you want me to assess one of your firearms, you need to do what this gentleman did. Package the gun up and send it to me so that I can lay hands on it. I mean, it's that simple. I'm not going to open myself up for that kind of lawsuit. I'm just not prepared for that. But what I will do with this particular rifle is she'll come apart, and I'll go deep dive into it, and I'll give her a deep clean, and then chances are I'll load up about 3 or 4 rounds. And the cool thing about these is they load in through the buttstock back here. It's not like the 46B that's got a tube mag up here under the fore end. They load in from the buttstock. The 51s did it. The 151s did it. The 151Ks did it. Lots of Mossbergs semi-autos loaded through the buttstock. I think all of them did. I could be wrong. The 46s had the tube magazine up under the forestock. The 42s had the detachable mag, 7-round detachable mag under the bolt. But yeah, I'll pull this apart. We'll go deep clean on it and then go from there. But seriously, folks, please don't think I'm being a jerk or this is a money thing, because I'm going to tell you, I have a real job, I have a career, and it's not gunsmithing. Any money I make from this goes to things like improved tools and cleaners and chemicals and books so that I can learn more. I don't turn a profit on gunsmithing. It's a hobby. It sometimes drives my wife nuts because the accumulation of books and tools is in her mind getting out of hand. But she understands it's my hobby. It's not my real job. I'm not Mark Novak or some of those other fellas that actually make a living doing this. This is a hobby. But I just felt that this needed to be said. Please don't waste your time or mine asking me those questions, because I'm not going to reply to you. And if I do reply to you, I'll give you a straight answer. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to spare your feelings. If you ask me a question that is, in my mind, not something I'm going to answer, I'm going to tell you I'm not going to answer it. If you're willing to box up your firearm and send it to me to look at and possibly repair, shoot me an email. I'll give you an address, box it up and send it to me, by all means. But I'm not going to undertake the responsibility of a repair that I didn't do. That's all for now, folks. You guys take care. See ya.